Very recently, I got my hands on the brand new Canon EOS R5, which I was pretty excited about, as you can imagine. I wasn't planning on doing a video, to be honest, but I've been using it for a couple of days and I really want to give you guys my first impressions, because I know there's a few of these out there now. You may even have your production copy watching this. So I just want to give you an idea of what I've been able to shoot with this just in my own time for the first couple of days and what I think so far. Now, we will be doing more content on the R5. There'll be videos coming of still shooting and video shooting and what the guys think, Sean and George think. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for that, turn on notifications, keep an eye on the blog and our social media channels. But for now, I'm just going to give you a little rundown of what I've thought of this. Now, I got this and I went to a couple of beach barbecues with some mates, socially distanced, of course, and it got dark and there was some really nice light. And I just took this along. I've been lucky enough to have some really nice lenses on this. I've got 50mm, 85mm, 15-35, 24-70. So I've been really lucky to have some great lenses to go with this. And the images, honestly, I do so much shooting with so many different cameras, and there are loads of cameras out there that are just insanely good. But in terms of a shooting experience, and when you first look at the images coming out of this, even if it's just the JPEGs, because I love using Lightroom, I know some people don't, but I do, it works for my workflow, and I can't get the RAW thing through that. So I've been using the Canon RAW program, which isn't the best. And even just the JPEGs straight out of camera have been so good. Now, as I say, I'm not talking numbers. I know there's going to be DxO scores for this. I know people will be doing like specific side-by-side stuff, as will we. But in terms of just a photographer who enjoys taking pictures at the weekend, this is one of the cameras that have recently really wowed me. Not much wows me in terms of just an individual image anymore. The technology might, or the manufacturer might, or something that they've done with it might wow me, but it's not often just the specific image anymore. And this it just straight out of the box has wowed me quite a bit. Now, I am more photographer than videographer. I do videography as well. I am a hybrid shooter, but I'm certainly more stills than video. So I'm just going to say straight away, I haven't tested the video enough to cause an overheating issue yet. I know it's there. Everybody's reported it. I'm not going to say that there aren't issues with overheating with this, but it's not something I've had a chance to test yet, so I can't comment on it. But for the small amount of video I have done, I'm on shoot with George and Sean today. I've not experienced it with the little bits of video that I've been doing. Now, for someone who's a hybrid shooter who does more video than stills, yes, it may be more of a problem, but we've got to test that to figure that out, and that will be coming up. Now, low light is something I love shooting, and I tried it out with this. Down at the beach was one of the places I did some low light shooting with this, and not only did the ISO work really well, even at high levels, there was quite a low noise ratio, which I was surprised at because I was worried because of the megapixel count, but actually the image stabilization made such a difference to me. I love the idea of being able to handhold a pretty long exposure, and it was a blustery night, and I was able to handhold 1 second exposures and for them to be sharp, no problem, like every single one. And that was so special for me. It meant I could turn that ISO down a little bit if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could have a slightly wider depth of field by upping the aperture a little bit. It just gave me a bit more versatility to work with. And that's something I've noticed straight away, is the versatility with this. For some shooters, you actually don't need that. There's certain things you do need, and the versatility isn't one of them. But for someone who likes to shoot all the time, loads of different stuff, and I can imagine people who do like wedding and events and landscape and a bit of wildlife at weekends, this type of camera could work really well for you because you've got that continuous frame rate if you want to. I got George jumping out of a tree earlier and that worked fantastically. You've got incredible IAF. I've been having so much fun with that today, and that just works every single time bang on, even through like Sean's glasses or with hair hanging down, it works fantastically. You've got the low light capability, you've got the high resolution, and if you want to, you can switch over to video as well, and you can do, 100 frames per second PAL slow motion, and you can, shoot really high quality video, 8K if you want to, or you can extract a still from 8K. So for the first little bit of shooting I've done with this, in terms of me personally, it works really well. There are downsides, price, there's no getting around it. It's a very expensive body, and so are the lenses, very expensive. And for some people that will be a problem, and I think if I didn't work at WEX and I had a different type of job that wasn't in photography, that would be a problem, because as an enthusiast, unless you have loads of spare cash, I don't think it's something I could necessarily manage. But if I worked in weddings again, and I did loads of events like I used to, then I think this would be a purchase I'd make happen, purely because I think it would allow me, it would open me up to getting more good shots. You can get a lot of shots, even with kit that's not that great, but it's so much harder and it's so much more pressure and more stress on yourself, and you enjoy the day less if you can't rely on your kit as much. And for me, I like the idea of having something where I feel like I can rely on it and it's going to get the shots I want it to get when I tell it to. When I tell it to do certain things, I put it in certain positions, I want it to act consistently, and this has been, and that's something I've really enjoyed. Now, as I say, I've only had this for a couple of days. This isn't a full review by any chance. This is just my personal first impression, so I thought you guys might be interested to see some of the images that I've got out of this. Now, if you've got questions about the R5, if you check out our store page, there's loads of information on the specs on there. You can have a look at that. If you want to have a chat, you can of course give us a call, send us an email, and we can give you information that way, or you can put a comment here and I will try to get back to you with all the information that I currently have on the R5. But for now, I'm going to go keep shooting, and a big thanks for watching.